how to prepare this last 80 days. ఎలా ప్రిపేర్ అవుతే మీ ప్రిలిమ్స్ క్లియర్ అవుతుంది, దానికి మీ ప్రిపరేషన్ స్ట్రాటజీ ఎలా ఉండాలి.
Many students make a mistake of, and the second thing is they should be good enough in
This 80 days what student should do such that he should clear prelims.
he has to brush up his all NCERTs.
15 questions only from environment.
Yes.
Students with respect to geography also face problems with respect to mapping, sir.
Yes.
Shall we only read SNT or science also?
In 2023, they had asked about.
So do we have any other magazines in science?
So that is a probable question 2020.
Sometimes what they use, if more environment questions.
UPSC focus on different chapter on a single chapter is also increasing.
Economics is not a difficult subject, it's only a different subject. If you are perfect with economy,
So importance of economic survey, budget and government schemes.
yes.
Hello all. We know that prelims 2025 is more 80 days away from us. So in this context, with the dynamic faculties, senior faculties like Baswaraj sir, geography environment, Shravan sir, economy faculty, Bharat sir, science and technology, as well as Shivanarendra, he is a government employee, as well as he attended UPSC interview 2 times. This time also attended UPSC interview, and as well as mentor, and he will be teaching current affairs at Vishnu IAS Academy. So we all combined together to help you how to prepare this last 80 days. ఎలా ప్రిపేర్ అవుతే మీ ప్రిలిమ్స్ క్లియర్ అవుతుంది, దానికి మీ ప్రిపరేషన్ స్ట్రాటజీ ఎలా ఉండాలి, దానికి మీ యొక్క ప్రయత్నం ఎలా ఉండాలి అని చెప్పేసి ఆన్ దిస్ పర్టికులర్ పాయింట్ వీఆర్ కండక్టింగ్ దిస్ పర్టికులర్ సెషన్. ఐఎమ్ 100% sure that this particular session is going to help you all. So first I will start with the senior faculty. Yes sir, Baswaraj sir. So how is it in Hyderabad?
Hyderabad is quite pretty hot now, sir. You might be experiencing that. Already the IMD has declared heat waves in southern parts, so temperature is very high. So that is one part, and it's obvious that because of global warming and climate change, we all experience the same thing. It's not a complete isolated one. It is associated with the present scenarios only, as we all know regarding that. Now coming down to this geography, ecology and environment. So generally, when we see the students, they find it difficult. The reason is that they are unable to make revision and consolidation of geography as well as ecology and environment. Apart from that, they don't make linkage between the statistical parts or the conceptual part with the current affairs. And apart from that, many students make a mistake of taking or missing the previous year questions. Now, if you take a previous year questions, say 5 years, 10 years, then if you make an analysis of all those, you will come across that certain subjects like history, it is rather say some part is there which is static, and more of them you find in current affairs. Now, when you go through the topics, you will find that there are certain topics, there are few topics which are always repeated, but with association current affairs. So if you make analysis of that, then you will easily identify that yes, there are some topics which we refer them as micro topics which are always repeated. You can take a list of those topics, and then you can analyze the current affairs of previous or somewhere and link that topics with your current affairs. So that will enhance their capacity of understanding, and as well as more possibility that they may mark correctly. This is one thing. And the second thing is they should be good enough in reading their NCERT class book. So from 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. So most of the students, they take it for granted that if I attend the classroom, then NCERT books are not having that weightage. But if you see the questions, directly they will pick the statements from NCERT and they will put, and there will be a dilemma in marking them. For example, if you take landforms, I'm just giving an example. If you take an example, if they say Oxbow Lake and meandering, Now, many students make a confusion. They have read meandering is also there, Oxbow Lake is also there. So, when they ask which among them are landforms or not landforms, they will mark even meandering also as a landform and Oxbow Lake is also a landform. But here, When you read NCERT books, you will understand that meandering is a process which leads to the formation of landforms. So these clarities are defined in NCERT books in a very simple ways. So that's why
You are telling that NCERTs are most important.
very important.
So, sir, I want a direct question to you. I want to put a direct question, that is, this 80 days, what student should do such that he should clear prelims?
See, sir, in this case, 80 days, what we say, initially he has to brush up his all NCERTs. So more specifically, 8th, 9th, he might have made notes for that. 10th, he should read carefully. 11th, sentence by sentence. 12th also, sentence by sentence, word by word. So it will take hardly 1 week for him to complete the NCERT books. So once he has completed his NCERT books, then he has to look for the institution notes where he has taken, or notes what he has prepared. Then along with that, he has to make current affairs, like places which are there in the news. Like, take an example, if we come across the Satorni Island in Greece, where you are having earthquake swarm, so he should know that what is earthquake swarm, which places are experiencing that. Now in India, yes, in India also we had an earthquake swarm like Amreli in Gujarat. Or so when you are reading that concept, so conceptual based themes they will ask in the examination. So you should be good enough in defining. For example, if you are taking NCERT defines what is earthquake, but when you are reading current affairs, there they will talk about what is earthquake and what is earthquake swarm. So here you should understand earthquake consists of foreshock, aftershock and main shock, but earthquake swarm does not have. So there is where the thin line of demarcation is asked in the examination, where the student get confused. So NCERT will help us to understand what they are, and the discussion and the study what you further progress, they will help us to understand why they are, how they are. And UPSC always asked what along with why and where they are. So that's why basics, concepts and current affairs, if you combine all these, I don't think you will have any problem. But if you make PYQs, you will get certain topics. And those are the topics which are always repeated. Say continental drift theory, plate tectonic theories, like landslides. So these are the topics which will be there. Only they will change the current affairs associated with that. So if you are good in the basics, if you are thorough in these parts, and I don't think you will have any problem in consolidation as well as revision. Now generally every year, sir, to be very frank, not less than 20 questions are there from geography, ecology and environment. Hope you agree with this.
Yes, sir, because this is also entrance for IFS. So definitely there is 15 to
20, not less than 20.
Even sometimes I observe more than 15 questions only from environment.
Yes, of course. And moreover, if you are good in geography, you can link that with your ecology.
And it, as rightly said, is because of civil service and for
us. So they are club. So you should not surprise if they are 30 also. It should not surprise.
Sometimes we find 20 questions from
Environment only. So along with that, if you find geography,
that goes to 30.
Yes. And moreover, we find disasters are happening. So you can expect a question from disaster part also. So hence, geography, ecology, environment, they feel that it is very bulky, humongous one. It is very difficult for consolidation. So hence, I prefer to say that you go with PYQs. You will find certain topics which are always repeated, and glance your NCERT books. I am repeatedly telling, glancing of NCERT is very, very important. And that is where it will tell you what they are and how and why it has to be to the classrooms and the topics which they connect. And if you combine that, I don't think they will have any problem in there.
Sir, but students with respect to geography also face problems with respect to mapping, sir.
Yes. See, that is where the part. In my class, I always tell them to carry the atlas with them. For example, when you are discussing, say, for example, you are talking about, say, plate tectonic theory. In the plate tectonic theory, we say that, or continental drift theory, we say that these are the landforms which are created. So while defining that, we should say that Himalayas are fold mountains. Then you should explain about where they are. Rockies are fold mountains, Andes are fold mountains. Then you have Carpathian mountains. Then you are having Caucasus mountains, Alps mountain. So every day when we are having the class, in my classroom here, we are providing all those data. So generally in the course of that 100 days there, so they will come to know that what places are there. We are talking about lakes, we are talking about spaces. So they have to go with the class only. That is advantage. If you read only current affairs, only the places, it becomes very difficult. For example, if you are reading about Ukraine and Russia war, you can't buy out more than that. You can't hack more than that. So that's why when you're reading them, for example, you are coming across Dead Sea, when you're talking about the salinity of ocean water. So you have to explain what is Dead Sea and which are the boundaries associated with that. Now, if you're talking about Caspian Sea, when you're talking about rivers and their management, Aral Sea, then when we come across that Aral Sea, it is an ecological disaster. So you have to, yes sir, you have to explain about that rivers, Amu Darya and Sir Darya, where they are connected. So this is the process of feeding them from the beginning. So by completion of 100 hours of classes, they will have a complete idea about the maps, and then later you can go with the map. So IR, when you read with these basics, they should know that where is Atlas Mountain.
Yes, sir.
They should know where is Caspian Sea. They should know where is the Black Sea, whether it is in the eastern side or western side. So once they are having the basics, then I don't think they will have any problem with your IR part also, the current affairs part. This is what I get.
What you said is very correct, sir. When I observed, some people only see the maps before 10 days of exam.
That is wrong practice. You can't digest, sir.
They can't remember. Instead of positive mark, they will end up at negative mark.
Yes. See, when you are talking about India, you should understand that yes, Western Ghats are something called as block mountains. Eastern Ghats are fold mountains, which were formed when Indian plate collided with the Australian plate. That is 2 billion year olds, and this is spreading in, because in geography, you trust me, facts-based questions will be more. Right. So they may ask how many states the Western Ghats are there, how many states the Eastern Ghats are spread. So in that case, when you are taking the classes, so we should give them a holistic approach in a story way, that this is how the Eastern Ghat is formed, this is how the Western Ghat is formed, why we call them as fault scarps, and why deltas are there in the east. And along with that, if you give the data like what he says, like Amarkantak, what you said, sir, right? So Amarkantak is a source of rivers Narmada, then you are having Son, then you are having Mahanadi. So if you put them in the maps while teaching, then I don't think they will have any problem in that. So this is very appropriate. So in the last, you should not rush behind the places. It has to be done in the beginning itself. From day one, mapping starts, sir. I hope you agree with my point.
So, rightly said, Basavaraj sir had clearly told that this 80 days you have to focus on revising your NCERT books with your map pointing, and wherever you are with your institute material you prepare. This 80 days, 100% there is high chance of out of 30 or 20, 75% should become right. So, Bharat sir, science and technology, we were talking, me and Shravan sir. So, Shravan sir was telling that science and technology is very easy. What do you say, sir?
Sir, firstly, there are standard books for economy, there are standard books for polity, sir. In India itself, there is no single standard book for science and technology. That is first thing. And many had misconception that science and technology is a lesser subject. But the fact is that if you see last 4 years, average of 12 to 14 questions are being asked in science and technology.
Yes.
And it is relatively difficult to answer them. So if we are analyzing the PYQs, there is some structured preparation with respect to science and technology, sir. If you have to say, people generally feel that science and technology is completely current oriented, but that is not the case. For every year, they are asking questions with respect to stem cell transplantation,
GSLV, PSLV.
GSLV, PSLV. Last year, they had asked about navigation satellite systems. All these will be reading in.
Yeah, nowadays they are penetrating deep into statements where they are asking which among these statements are correct. So that becomes very difficult for a common student to answer that, sir.
Sir, actually, what is happening is that students feel science and technology means space technology.
Yes. That is something which.
Now, if you are seeing last 10 years analysis, space technology contribute only 15% of all the questions. Biotechnology and biology contribute 38.5%.
So can we say it is about welfare science, like welfare economics?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Like COVID vaccination.
Yeah, welfare part.
Yes, sir. Now, if we have to say, there are some core areas in science and technology. And science and, if you analyze the previous year questions of last 10 years, there are specific themes around which UPSC is framing questions. For example, sir, in the last 4 years, similar question has repeated 3 times. There is a question on bioreactors. Last year, they had asked with the name membrane bioreactor. Previous year, they had asked with the name biofilms. Earlier here, they had asked with the same name bioreactors.
So topics are same, only their
Wording.
It's are changing.
But sir, students will usually ask me, sir, shall we only read SNT or science also? Because they are very much worried.
Correct. General science.
Yes, sir.
General science.
Yes, sir.
Sir, what you had asked is a very genuine doubt, sir. But the problem is that science means it will be coming physics, chemistry and biology. Now, we can't go and read each and every book. But we had seen that in the last 3 to 4 years, they are touching core biology. Plant cell versus animal cell. Okay. Utility of pressure cooker. Now, what we can do is that we at least for these subjects we can go for some NCERT compilation, because return on investment is very less. If you are going for each and every book with
Biology,
respect to physics, chemistry, it will be difficult. So what I suggest is that for biology and biotechnology, since both are interlinked, we need to do some deep dive. For example, plant cell versus animal cell, DNA. Sir, if you see in the last 5 years, they had asked transcriptome, RNA interference, aerial metagenomics, all these are interlinked. DNA barcoding. In 2023, they had asked about DNA barcoding in 2022, and in 2023, they had asked about aerial metagenomics. This is one of the application of DNA barcoding.
Also asking about genetically modified animals, crops. These are also.
So, if we chart out the teams, there will be just 25 to 30 teams with science and technology, and we get expertise with that. For sure, we can gain 70% accuracy in science and technology, which is a huge number.
One thing is there, sir, in science and technology, accuracy will be there.
Yeah, it is perfect, whether it is true or wrong. That's it. And one more thing, sir. See, in case of geography and ecology, we say that you can follow geography and U magazine and down to earth magazine, where they will ask some questions which are given there, some topics which are there, like down to earth magazine is there, and geography and U, which also there. So, do we have any other magazines in science? Like
Yes.
usually there was science pattern. Now, do we have any other magazine which can suffice the requirement of students so that it will have a concise idea?
Sir, actually, down to earth nowadays is covering these type of things also, and the compilations which we are also providing covering all these things. Actually, for example, in our classes, we had divided the science and technology thematically in 12 topics: space technology, biotechnology, chemicals in use, energy, and with new energies in use, nuclear energy, nanotechnology. We had divided like this into 12 chapters. Now we can, if we are covering each and every topic in this manner, we can get 70% accuracy.
Science Reporter, one magazine is there, sir, as you told, but a huge lump sum, we cannot put that much of time.
The return on investment is very less for that, sir.
So that's why I asked you.
When in preparation, we try to read the science report. Yes, I say return on investment is very less. It takes huge time. Some terminology is too difficult to understand also.
So, moreover, you find some topics in your down to earth.
There we can.
Sir, for example, sir, down to earth reported about rhodamine. You know, rhodamine in Hyderabad and most states, this food coloring agent called rhodamine had been banned because it people eating Manchuria fast food side, and all of them are getting infected. Yes, they had banned this. Now UPSC since last 4 years devised this new trick that which chemicals in use they are asking. They had asked about bisphenol A, triclosan. Similarly, this rhodamine is also a probable question.
Yes, sir.
Right. So in this manner, there are some specific themes, and one more theme is health and diseases.
In biryani, white color, what maroon is, what is that, sir? Mayonnaise. That
Mayonnaise.
is also banned in Hyderabad. So that is a probable question 2025.
And moreover, we find this science and tech is always, we find it is overlapping with many. For example, if you are taking global warming and climate change, geoengineering methodology, you have to go with science part only. When you talk about direct carbon capture or direct air capture and storage.
Sir, even if we talk about GM crops, what biotechnology and environment is linked.
You find overlapping is there.
Yes.
These environment and science people fight for which question. This is my question. This is my question. They will say they'll have.
It's not like even I will fight, because GM crops I will also teach in economics. GAC applies everything. I'll
To segregate that whether it is science or whether it is coming under ecology or whether it is
The institutes will make number for environment, another institute for science and technology, they will tell that they told wrong.
So sometimes what they use, if more environment questions are there, if less science are there, they will put that into SNT.
But this year, science and technology will get a lot of prominence, sir. Government is investing a lot in this.
Yeah, artificial intelligence, I think.
Quantum computing and
No, I'm telling that the science and technology is penetrating into deeper parts in other subjects. It is taking its roots in ecology, it is taking its roots in geography, it is taking its roots in all subjects. So I was telling that it has a multidisciplinary approach where it is.
actually there is one more trend, sir, such that earlier I had mentioned about different chapters. Now UPSC focus on different chapter on a single chapter is also increasing in that specific year. For example, in COVID year in 2021 and 2020, more questions have been asked in biotechnology, vaccines and all.
Yes.
Last year, since there is more focus on technology and all, they had asked more focus on emerging technologies. Again, this year there is more focus on space, Aditya L1, Exposat, the third launchpad and all, and focus on quantum computing mission are there. So more questions from space and emerging technologies is also
So
possible.
2025 can be AI, artificial intelligence.
Yes, sir, surely. AI, quantum mission and all.
You can say, sir, because the applications are increasing very high.
Yes. Honorable Prime Minister is also stressing AI everywhere he is going. Yes.
So rightly said, Bharat sir, very useful. So it's science and technology, 15 questions are approximate in that. What are the current trend questions you have to prepare, more mainly current affairs oriented. So for me, sir, Shravan sir, for me, economy is tough. So tell me, I tell that economy is tough.
Yes,
So lot of 50% of the students will tell the same. So what do you say, sir? For you, it is easy or tough?
Like just now Bharat sir have said, government is investing more in S&T, science and technology, but to invest also we need economics. Okay, so first thing, economics is not a difficult subject, it's only a different subject. Okay, like other humanities you can understand it in a very easy way reading your NCERTs, but economics you will have to understand the concept well and connect with the current. And current also you will have to look for database. Okay, one report will suggest one data, another report will be giving another data, PIB will be giving another information. So authenticity of data, people will fall into that data trap I call. Okay, so if you are coming out of the data trap, if you understand the class notes well, I am giving the most appropriate data at Vishnu IAS also. That is the first point, sir. And economy, though the significance in the last 3 years is slightly going down, meaning in place of 20 questions, only 15 questions are being asked. But economy, the questions can be predicted in preliminary examination. In prelims, inflation is the most important topic. Inflation will always be there in news. Inflation have to be connected with money and banking. If inflation is connected with public finance like taxation and everything, then the people will usually play with the subject economy. And at the same time, external sector is one of the most important aspect to be specified for preliminary examination. External sector, currency swap, exchange rates and agreements. And also, if you are perfect with economy, IR will be very easy for you. Meaning, if you are perfect in economy, World Bank I will be teaching. IMF I will be only dealing. ADB, Asian Development Bank I will be connecting. IMF and all other institutions and organizations from economic point of view I will be touching. If you are perfect with economy, some part of your human geography will be perfect because I will be touching agriculture there also. I will be touching industries. I will be touching
agriculture.
Demography, services sector. So some part of your geography will also be done. Some part of your technology will also be done because whenever I start with industries, I will start with the Russia episode only. Okay, why India have adopted a Russian policy? From Russia, I'll connect till GSLV cryogenic engines. Almost till there, I'll be connecting. So probably economy is such a subject which is a joyful subject which people will enjoy while reading, sir.
So importance of economic survey, budget and government schemes.
Yes, sir. Economic survey is very important document, not just in economy point of view, but also economic survey nowadays mentions about climate change also. So economic survey, I can prove, sir, last 4 years there are direct literature is also been copy pasted from economic survey. Direct points like V-shaped recovery, U-shaped recoveries, they are directly picked up from economic survey. The theme will be directly asked. The documentation, agriculture related data will be directly touched from the economic survey. Schemes you can update from through economic survey. So current and static economy together will definitely award you more than 15 questions.
Thank you, sir. Very useful information. So economic survey don't neglect and the budget don't neglect and link the static with the current. Then economy will be easy and you should enjoy the subject. Yes, Shiva sir, you very recently you cleared all the prelims. You had first-hand information with respect to prelims examination. You recently attended your UPSC interview also. So please tell me how history we should tackle as well as current affairs.
Sir, before that, since you have cleared all the prelims recently, sir, which subject you enjoyed a lot in prelims?
Reading, huh?
Writing, answering the questions.
Economy. See, I always say economy and science and technology and environment. These are the key changes in prelims.
Yes.
Because nearly 40 to 50 questions will be there from these three subjects, and they are interlinked more, especially science and technology, economy, environment, etc. And I also feel reading them easy compared to history. So biggest problem with history, as I said, science and technology don't have a definite book. But history had huge number of sources, unlimited. CCRT, NCERT, Tamil Nadu NCERT. The biggest problem with history is generally we will observe 15 questions coming from history and culture. I bet,
Too much dishes.
I bet, sir, every year 3 questions you can't answer. Study whatever maybe the sources. And because a new source they will pick up. And if people run behind that source. I generally say for good output of history, reduce your resources, follow standard resources. NCERT, especially I can say old NCERT, 11th class for ancient and medieval. Sir. That is, and that one along with one culture, art and culture book, maybe Nitin Singhania or whatever maybe. That is more than enough to crack 70% of the questions. I won't say don't aim for 100% in history. That won't never be possible. Even you study 100 sources, they will go for 1 not 1.
So if you don't know means others also don't know.
Don't know. Definitely don't know, sir.
And no need to get 100% in prelims.
No need to get 100% in prelims. And certain themes I observed, sir, especially in ancient and medieval, they're picking from NCERT. Like I can say one example. So there is a heading called Babur Invention and Effects on India. And they clearly say one word. Even though Babur not introduced gunpowder to India, he made it famous.
Yes.
That question in prelims they asked Babur introduced gunpowder to India.
Yeah.
See, no need to mention so specifically. When such a themes are specifically mentioned, especially give a focus there. Similarly, one of the questions they said in Buland Darwaza Akbar used blue glazer tiles, and they asked in prelims specific. Whenever they material, yes, sir. Whenever NCERT mentions a specific thing that was somewhere asked in prelims questions, especially in history, sir.
No, it is in all the subjects. So that's what I told. When you read class 10th, 11th, sentence by sentence, they will pick and they will put.
Through there. So I will say for history, first of all, don't aim for 100%. Reduce or consolidate your resources and practice more questions. And I whenever you go for previous question.
And one more continuation to it, importance of test series also, please.
Yes, sir. One more thing I want to say, first of all, when you are studying previous year questions, I especially say, not only see right answer, see wrong answer also. A wrong option has a lot of history behind it. So that question will be repeated in other form in next prelims. There are a lot of questions there. So I can say especially when you are reading history, you study that wrong answer also. Learn to get it to right. That will be repeated. Test series, sir. Coming to test series, it is just like whatever maybe you studied. Unless you are put your pen on the paper and you put your mind, you can't get the result. Test series shows how many questions to answer. Sir. Suppose whenever you feel like this paper is tough, you should know how many questions to answer. I have seen a lot of people in 2016 the paper is easy. The people attempted 95. In 2018 also they attempting 95. Because they are in the form that, but when you in the test series, you know how much to answer, and we also know how to guess also. An intelligent guess is very important. To be frank, as of my knowledge, every time I used to cross 115. In first iteration, in first reading, I never answered more than 40 questions. Okay. 40 definitely I will put a tick. Remaining questions, I have some confusion between 2 options. I use an intelligence guess or I can say elimination techniques to get into right answer. Especially for science and technology and environment, I use these techniques. Sir.
Moreover, when we say test series, sir, they may not be appear in the examination, but they will help you to cover many topics which you have left out.
Similar.
Yes, similarly. So that will help you to reach to the goal in a better way.
Yes.
Test series, they may not appear. Not even 5% also.
Brutal truth, sir. Including our academy also. We want to show that from our academy we got this many questions, But as you told, it's not that how many questions came, how many question patterns came is important.
See, when we are discussing, I'll just give an example. When you are discussing in geography, everybody will talk about the plateaus, Satpuras, they will talk about, they say it is a block mountain. And while defining, normal person will say Amarkantak. Now, if the question is asked, the river which originates from Amarkantak. So, the moment when you use the term Amarkantak, it does not mean that you are taught in the class. But here, when we make an holistic approach, for example, in the test series, if the Amarkantak is there, when we make a discussion like the test series, what we did. So, there we will discuss what is Amarkantak, what is. So, in that way, when the test series are there, all topics surrounding that theme will be discussed. So, that is an advantage for the students to take.
Sir, one more thing I like to add, like Bharat sir and Shiv Prasad sir have already said that restrict your resources, but enhance your test. More number of tests. There is no good test, there is no bad test. There is no good Al-Qaeda, bad Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda is Al-Qaeda. Similarly, all tests you need to practice in order to get a perfection.
One more point, sir, and we have to do reverse engineering. So after writing the test, why it became wrong, why other statements, as Shiva told, we should also check the other options also. So when we do it, 100 MCQs will become 500 MCQs.
So that's what explanation is very important, sir. It's not about attending the test series. You have to go with the explanations which is given by that institute.
Generally, students will see only the correct option and
No,
they will
yeah, that is the
they will leave remaining three. But the remaining three studying is very important. Maybe the question comes from the wrong answer itself.
Yes.
One more thing, sir, here. Actually, firstly, students, we know that test series is most important thing. Previous year questions are most important thing. Students are neglecting it. And even if they are attempting also, they are looking at only the right option. And the problem here is that if they do not know any answers, through test series also they can learn.
Yes.
So that's what you will cover many topics there. In one answer, you will cover at least 4 or 5 topics.
Sir, in fact, sir, I think UPSC is itself asking to practice more, because UPSC is giving 4 statement question, 5 statement question, meaning in one question UPSC trying to touch 5 questions.
5 questions, yes.
Okay, so that point students should keep in mind and practice more number of questions. To address 100 questions, according to my experience, people should practice at least 6,000 questions.
So, Bharat sir, my question to you. So, Lakshmikant became a Bible type for politics. Is it so for clearing prelims?
For prelims, as of prelims, sir, now if you see, except 2023, remaining all years, Lakshmikant paid its payoffs, sir. But 1 year, it completely changes the line.
Yes.
But again, 2024, if you see, each and every question is from Lakshmikant. 15 out of 16 questions are from Lakshmikant. But we cannot say that Lakshmikant cannot be neglected. Along with that, if you are aware of last 1 year current affairs, we can gain 95% accuracy in polity, sir. That is not the
Sir,
case
when
with
we are
other
saying
subjects.
current affairs, as sir just reminded, if we will only read for 8 to 10 months of current affairs. Sir, I have observed nearly at least 8 to 9 questions coming from 1.5 years current affairs also. Some of the next see, not only current affairs, in next 6 months what is going to happen in the country also they are asking this. Suppose in next 3 months there may be a big event going to take place. Delimitation is coming. It is not happened, but it may be going to take place. Definitely that is a current affairs. So that is also
Futuristic point of view. UPSC want us to become a fortune teller.
UPSC want us to be fortune tellers.
So somewhat they will talk about the same.
And one more thing I want to add, sir. CSET. CSET. I will say only one thing. Don't never neglect CSET. And first thing is, we can start as a passenger when you are writing prelims, especially for GS1, and we can slowly pick up the speed. But when you are starting CSET, you should be start like Rajdhani Express.
Yes, from day one.
Because you don't have any time. After 1 hour, you see back, you can answer. You feel that I answered only 20 questions, but that is not at all important. So I will say CSET is very, very much important. Don't neglect CSET. And GS, though both should be balanced. I have seen number of people, even IITians. I myself from IIT Delhi, I saw many my own friends failing to qualify CSET. They got very good marks in GS and failing to qualify CSET.
True, sir.
So the problem there is that since we are telling engineering and IIT, we will be focusing only on maths. We are neglecting English. Humanities people neglecting maths completely. But if we are balancing all the 3 subjects, reasoning, maths and English, then only we can get cross the cutoff.
Yes, sir.
CSAT is equally
Equally
I always say in the class, sir, you see CSAT before UPSC. Otherwise, UPSC will see you CSAT down.
True, sir. True. So, very good. We had a very good conversation with Baswara sir, Shravan sir, Bharat sir, and Shiva. So I hope this particular conversation will help you.
Sir, one point, sir. Just now, Bharat sir was specifying that we have compiled everything for the preliminary examination. At least a part of some material, if we can give from Vishnu IAS free of cost to all the children.
100% sir. So gentle you are, sir. So sir చెప్పినట్టు మనం ఏం చేస్తామంటే కింద description లో we will put one Google Drive. In that Google Drive, our all subjects PDF, few units we will be providing in the form of PDF. మీకు ఆ Google Drive లో ఉంటుంది. సో అది మీరు ఎగ్జామ్ ఓరియంటెడ్ కంటెంట్ అది మీరు డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకొని చదివితే ఖచ్చితంగా ఒక 30% ఆఫ్ ద క్వశ్చన్స్ అయితే కవర్ అయ్యే అవకాశాలు 30% ఆఫ్ ద క్వశ్చన్స్ విల్ బి కవర్డ్. వీఆర్ వెరీ షూర్ అబౌట్ ఇట్ అండ్ విచ్ ఈస్ కంపైల్డ్ బై ద టీమ్ ఇట్ సెల్ఫ్. సో దిస్ experienced people's content it is, so it will be obviously helpful for you. And I hope you also enjoyed, sir.
Yes, sir. It was a nice interaction. Only thing is that I am not aware of Telugu language. That is the only problem. And it was a nice discussion where at least they have some idea now that what to have, and almost all he also shared his experience that what should be done and how the process are. So I think it is worth enough to have.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.